All right. As I said, before we get to speak with Sean, there is one little thing I want to do first, Philip. Do you know what that is?
Go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, you stole my thunder yet again. All right,
Ah.
let's go down the. Well, let's swirl down the plug hole of the rabbit hole. Let's go. All right, Philip. A very simple question this time, we're talking about cover art. Um, you and I are both downloaders now. We have gone to switch to downloads because the postage cost is just too exorbitant to get absolutely everything. But we love hearing the content. So, I mean, that's the bulk of the experience. But how important, even on downloads, is artwork to you uh, for a listening experience?
It's actually quite important. So I tend to actually download my Big Finish. I often whack them onto my Apple account, and so all my Big Finish I actually see on my Apple account. So I can actually the covers do come up, and I do spend a lot of time organizing my Big Finish into the right order and renaming them and numbering them all so they all turn up in the right order. So to me, covers actually are very important, and I do have them in order, release order. And I've got all the targets there as well, all the target books with all the target book covers. So yeah, my Apple account is all just when I open up the computer, it's all just covers. So yeah, so for me, it's actually quite important. Um, I guess a cover that now even in my car when I play Big Finish in the car now on the Big Finish app, the cover appears, which is very exciting. And so I was thinking, I was listening this week to something. I've been listening to the War Master, and I was just curious as to who, because there was a voice of the War Master I was trying to recognise. It turned out to be Captain John Hart, but I couldn't quite recognize the voice. And so I could look at my car and go, oh, I can see on the cover John Hart's in this. And so I realized that's who it was. So sometimes the cover is actually quite helpful in terms of recognizing who a character is and what they're doing. Sometimes I'm always interested to see how they design some of their monsters and creatures to get a bit of a image in my head about what the artists thought they looked like. So that's always interesting. So, and to me, it's often the thing that appeals to me most. So at the moment, my backlog of Big Finish is pretty big. I will actually scroll through my pictures to work out which one I want to listen to, and I often do go for it's often the cover that wins me over. I go, oh, that looks like a good cover. I'll start there. And so sometimes some audios don't get played for a long time because the cover hasn't won me over. What about you?
Gotcha.
How important covers for you?
Well, being a huge music fan as well,
Yeah.
covers are very important for a musical experience as well. And particularly, I don't do it so much anymore, but I used to collect a lot of vinyl. And vinyl is very popular now. You go into JB Hi-Fi and you can buy reissues of lots and lots of vinyl. And what's good about vinyl is it's a big 12-inch cover, which the CD era kind of destroyed that
Yeah.
that beauty. So it became a little bit more niche. Hearing, collecting those big covers, particularly gatefolds. Where if you get a nice prog album or something, and you open the gatefold and you've got a beautiful Roger Dean artwork in there, it kind of I would often sit and listen to an LP and um, just look at the cover, look at the record spinning. It was all part of the experience. So it was not just the listening experience. It was very, very much part of it. As far as Doctor Who goes as well, the cover of Genesis for the Daleks is extremely important to me, the LP version, because it has colors
Yeah.
and it stirs imagination in me on that particular story that I never got from the TV series, which is, I guess, it kind of ruined me a little bit for the TV series because it put things in my head that just didn't exist in the TV version, but they do exist. What am I saying? They do exist in my head, and you can see it with your own eyes on the cover for that. So, things like that. Like I've got that vinyl Doctor Who the music picture LP as well, which I loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had the cassette version of that too, which had the five faces on the front of that too. So very important to me. And even though I download Big Finish, I still look at the cover while I'm listening at times. Not all the time, particularly not if I'm driving, but if I'm sitting somewhere and, specifically taking time out to listen, then I will often look at the cover. Because when the app went down, I've been using another app to listen to all my Big Finish, and you can flip over to the artwork, or you can have the list of tracks, or flip over the artwork. So that has been. I usually don't put it on the list of tracks unless I'm trying to find one. I'll have it on the artwork and just and look at that. And I will often zoom in as well, and I'll look at the detail on the artwork as I'm listening, particularly if elements of the artwork are coming out in the story. It's a very important part of the listening experience for me. So, yeah, that's what I think of that.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And I sort of with album covers, they had a huge impact. And because they're movie posters too, I think,
Yes.
A good movie poster still just strikes me. I think I saw, these were musical posters for different musicals, and there was a quiz question where they were just putting up the image, but taking out the title. But people were just saying, and I could just do this away. I recognized poster after poster after poster, just because visually the image, I didn't need the words, because a strong picture tells 1,000 words, so they say.
If you enjoyed what you heard in this clip from the Sirens of Audio podcast, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss out on another episode from us. And if you want to find out more about us, including our back catalogue of episodes, you can head over to sirensofaudio.com.